Thank you very much, Kelly, and welcome back to the commentary desk for the final time.
That was F. Dot.
That was F. Dot.
Not Kelly.
Well, you know where my allegiances lie. Thank you very much, Tom. Welcome back to the commentary desk for the final time, ladies and gentlemen. It is Cognitive Prime versus Cognitive Red, game number 3, and this one decides not all of the marbles, but about 15,000 of them.
Enough of the marbles for one team to be a little bit more excited.
A significant amount of marbles.
Yes, I love marbles.
You can buy a lot of pizza with extra 15,000 bones to your name. So.
Hey, Snoopy's excited.
No.
Hi.
Turn left or something. Not up or down with that one. Poor Snoopy, the man of many pizzas. But we'll see how this one unfolds, right? I feel like we're going to see a Hercules this game.
I think that we're not going to see some Wukong. I think all the real big picks are coming out.
I think that we're going to 100% see Zhang Kui picked or banned, as it's apparently everyone's favorite god ever.
For some reason, yeah.
If their team is Cog, so.
And even if they're counter-picked before they pick it?
Yeah, nope. It's the most important thing to do is pick Zhang Kui in all games, according to Cognitive Media. But that being said, we had a pretty good showing in Game 1 from one of the teams. We had a pretty good showing in Game 2 from one of the teams. Now we just got to get both of them to bring their A game, butt heads, and see what we get.
So, final game going in. Honestly, I don't think we're going to see too much different in terms of actual play style. I think the picks will change a lot, though I do think both teams are really going to go head first. I don't see many handshakes in the mid lane coming out, but now that I said that, who knows? Yeah,
most people exist purely to troll you. I agree. Myself being one of them.
Oh, is that so?
Mr. Nance. We haven't introduced ourselves yet here at the final go-round of the commentary desk. My name is Bart. His name is Brandon. And we will be your commentators for the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen.
Bart,
and well, it's been a good day.
Bart.
Brandon.
What's your perfect Sunday?
Well, my perfect Sunday is looking at brackets from a tournament that is near conclusion. If you would be so kind, production, thank you for making my day. As you see, Cognitive Red battling through Team Dignitas that overcame Fat Chunks in the first round. Prime beating Complexity that overcame Rambozos in the first round. 3-1, Complexity taking a game. So, I mean, as you can see, the losing team has taken a grand total of 2 games this entire tournament.
That's, well, so far.
So far.
So far. This is assuming.
Still.
That was pretty, well, okay, sure.
Wait, I mean, like, what?
Either way, I guess.
They're going to manage to win a game while losing, Brandon?
All right.
You want John Madden on me here?
I wish I was John Madden. That'd be awesome.
I wish you were John Madden.
Can I just cast this whole game like John Madden?
Please.
Boom.
Boom! Tough actin', tenactin'. Well, yeah, we're just moments away from getting in the games here, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like we have a. What's your guess here? I mean, do you have any like predictions for this game? Like I said, I think it's going to be Hercules, Zhang Kui.
Oh wait.
Yeah, so like, which team do you think is going to be Order? Which side do you think is going to be Chaos?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know what Red's going to decide to go for.
Yeah, Red has the pick here. So you know that's the one thing we don't really know is if they're going to take the Order side or the Chaos side. My guess is that they're going to take Chaos. It seems to be the favored side. So,
sure.
That would leave Cognitive Pride playing out of the blue side. All things told, it'll be interesting to see how it goes down.
I'm looking a lot to stealth here, but I think all of this relies on if Devios can do well. It seems like every time Devios just destroys the lane, it's been free.
Yeah, that's true.
He had no problem with Shing, had no problem with Omega in Game 1, and then starts having problems with Omega in Game 2, and it was a completely different game.
Well, we'll see as it looks like we're going to move into the picking and banning phase. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, Cognitive Prime is the left side. Answering all of our questions there, the Order team. The right side is Cognitive Red. And away we go.
There goes the Thor ban. Gar's not going to get it this time.
Yeah.
And then Cirquet is smart. Oh, and
yeah, Cirquet gone. There's the Osiris ban. They don't want to face that from Divios. But like I said, there's so many gods that do that kind of thing, right? That Osiris playstyle. But he just picked the Hercules. Now Vamana's off the pool. Both teams seem to favor Hercules pretty well, though.
This could be a Hercules pick. Here is Cognitive Prime has opportunity for first pick. And no, they're going to go the support route.
Hey,
Jeff Hindler will get Sylvanas.
Yeah, the first time Sylvanas has gone through in this matchup, and he's immediately snapped up. On the other side, Hercules gobbled up as his Nemesis.
Nemesis is a great pick here because Nemesis is actually the counter to Hercules as well. Being able to strip away health and protections is very important. And once again, stealth with not a care in the world.
Zhang Kui. Picked right into that Nemesis. And, well, their final pick out of this first round for Cognitive Prime, they're going to take a look-see-poo at Lisa Mercury, and they're going to lock him in. The Messenger of the Gods is going to be delivering specialties.
Mercury extremely strong, especially in the end game. Option back over to Red, and that option goes to Vulcan, which will more than likely go once again to the duo lane.
Yeah, probably going to be going on the side of Snoopy. They have Nemesis in the jungle yet again for Gars. They'll put Hercules likely on the Divios. That seems to be at least the path that's laid out before us here. Freya banned out by Cognitive Red, and that pretty much solidifies that it's going to be Vulcan in the duo lane, as that matchup was not so great for him last game. Ban it out, pick him anyway.
I'm expecting Apollo. Oh,
hey.
Apollo could be real good, but first we're going to see a ban of Gab.
So does this force the...
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ionic, notably the only Sobek
they
player.
banned Geb, so they're going to pick Athena right. Nope. They're going to take Sobek. Yeah, Sobek is, basically Ionic, the only support player on Sobek, and Zalia, the only solo laner that ever plays him. But even that was like, that was a one-time thing.
It's not a thing.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
Honestly, we have not seen a lot of Bacchus.
No, we have not.
I expected a
Very
ton.
popular in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, Belly Flop is incredible.
Belly Flop, one of the best. At one point, was probably the best ability in the game.
It was absolutely the best ability in the game.
Intoxicate, still probably the best ability in the game, I would say.
Oh, Waxing Moon.
Over Intoxicate?
Yeah, and then
cast, massive AoE,
and then Driving Strike.
7-second CC,
Driving
burst
Strike
damage, plus physical power.
Broken. Okay, I have no idea what's going on here. Guan Yu gets picked up over in the right side. Shock.
Hey, there he is. They must have heard us talking. They're going to take Chocolate Rain here. And, well, he's going to be the solo laner, I suppose, which puts... Wait.
Yeah, Boosh has
Who's the mid laner here?
Boosh has Hercules.
Oh, Boosh has Hercules.
Boosh has Hercules.
Booshcules. Not okay with it? Bercules? That's not as good. Booshcules.
So Hercules will be going mid on the Boosh.
Nah, Booshcules.
Now, for those of you who haven't seen this, this is like one of the scariest things in the game. You cannot outpush him, you cannot walk near him, or you will die. Then again, it's Zhang Kuei.
DM Brandon on Hercules.
Dude, that's all I care about in the world. I mean, you saw...
If they would have picked Chang'e, you would have been like, one of the scariest lanes in the game. Chang'e.
Chang'e's looks...
Salvation.
Oh, come on. No, ew. Heal other people. Ew.
But yeah, Barracuda will get Rom here. Probably going to see, well, really, rather to say, we will be seeing another Unicorn build here. It's basically designed, well, it's not designed. It's more just kind of conceptualized by Cret as a as kind of an alternative to Crit, but what it really is a excellent build against a heavy bruiser and tank lineup,
right?
Which is exactly what Cognitive has drafted. So expect Barracuda to go with that. The real question here is like, I think just talking to him about it a little bit, like the real question you have to answer is, what is your sixth item? Is it a Brawler's Beat Stick or something like an Oboe?
I would say Beat Stick.
Beat Stick in this game 100% with the amount of heal, but you do see the series score there, which means we are moments away from getting in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and let this one rip, Brandon. Cog Prime versus Cog Red for several marbles. Let's go ahead and take a look at the teams in the game. No, let's take a look at us at the desk because you love us. No, now we're in the game. Blame Brad. Rock and roll. Cog Prime is your blue team, ladies and gentlemen, fighting for their tournament life, fighting for the #1 seed out of North America. It is Zhang Kuei in the mid lane on MLC Stealth, Andy in the jungle as Mercury. It's Guan Yu on the backside as Omegatron, and that leaves, of course, the duo lane. It is Jeff the Canadian Hinla as a Sylvanas. And, well, one Barracuda as your Rom Hunter. Their opponents today fighting out of the red trunks, right side of your spectator UA, top side of the minimap, waving away. It's Snoopy in the mid lane as a Vulcan. Of course, he's going to the duo where he'll be pairing up with, I don't know, this whole team is just screwed up, man. Sobek, stuff. Yeah, so Sobek's going to be Ionic, Snoopy's going to be your Hunter, Boosh is going to be your mid lane Booshcules. Degar's out of the jungle as Nemesis. That leaves Divios as the Man of Rain, Chuck.
I have a question.
Yes.
Pretend that right there, Annister used the special delivery to throw someone deep, and Barracuda got the kill. Will we still hear the chant?
The answer is yes.
Yes,
apparently.
we would still hear the chant. Okay.
Now, what you really wanted to see was Boosh Earthbreaker someone backwards into the Ionic pull into the tower.
Yes.
Now that would have been the optimal play.
Yes, and taking first blood like that would have been awesome.
Yeah, I mean, F6 at 1, is that possible?
Just whatever, 15 grand F6 yeah. Out of the salt. Like, okay, so they're Divios throws it. I think he got him. He got him.
Oh, Divios.
He got them both.
What a guy.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, what a guy.
I would be so upset right now.
Dude, Divios, first he takes your tower, then he takes your mid camps, then he takes your lifestyle.
I was wondering if you were going to... Okay, anyway. So, top side.
Yeah, he plunders your villages, he takes your women.
Divios gets the blue buff. A lot of experience going that way. The way of the red team, Cognitive Red right there. That was great.
Yeah, it's really nice when they, Cognitive Red plays on the Chaos side.
Yeah, oh, it's so much better.
It's so much easier than saying Cognitive Red on the blue team. But they're so kind.
Left side, Jeff Hinla utilizing that heal. Barracuda utilizing that great push, ensuring that they're going to keep Ionic and Snoopy locked down.
Yeah, the last time we saw Guan Yu was up against that Hercules, which is a significantly harder matchup for Guan Yu here. Versus the Chalk, it's you know, even more of a slap fight. He doesn't have that like instant interrupt and a Talu Assault, and as you see, it affords Omega a little bit of a better laning phase.
Omega actually dealing a lot of damage to Devios right there.
Yeah,
and
just Talu, man.
Ooh, missing that axe from mid-range. Curious.
So one of the most recent change to Guan Yu was it used to be that his heal would provide him physical protection after using it.
Right.
Now his Talu Assault is what, you know, strips that protection and gives it away. So makes a little bit more sense, allows him to play a bit more aggressive and really kind of solidify once again as a solo laner.
Jeff Hinla taking some damage there from the meatball on the left side. Speaking of healing, you know, and protections, Jeff Hinla, I mean, Sylvanas has so much. I think we're going to see a lot of healing reduction this game, but I like the Sobek pick. I mean,
sure,
the Sickening Strike actually will reduce a significant amount of the healing, pick up a Divine Ruin, and it's pretty much all of it.
Yeah, but I believe, let me check in here. The Sickening Strike problem with this ability is that the debuff is like, it's 4 seconds, pretty short. All things kind of told in the way that most Smite debuffs last, like Divine Ruins sitting at 8 seconds, right? Yeah. So Sylvanas can pretty much wait that out, unless it's like a must-heal situation. You know, it's never really going to factor in until maybe team fights where he just doesn't notice the debuff.
Well, I mean, there is also the Guan heal to try to go around.
Fair.
And on the opposite side, you know, you have healing coming out from Nemesis. There's healing on Hercules. There's healing on Sobek. There's healing on Chalk. This is going to be a very defensive game.
Yeah, this is a great game for, if this one goes late, probably advantage COG, given that Barracuda is going to be able to build into that Brawler speed stick really, really effectively. Like, you kind of have a natural carrier there, where they don't have a great option necessarily on the side of red to build the anti-heal. Like, really, where does it go? It may be Snoopy builds a Divine Ruin, but it's probably just, you know, weakening curses.
Boosh and Gars actually start to back there to bait MLC Stealth. Are we going to see Recall Demons? Driving Strike actually places him. Boulder not bouncing the right way, but they still find First Blood.
First Blood to the Boosh playing Hercules, and that's a bad place for First Blood to go when you pick the ungankable warrior in the mid lane.
Oh, we're not done. Right. The ultimate actually gets used there from Andy, trying to close the distance, but unable to stop the back mid-camp up. Does he have the hog? Oh, actually, whoa. So
you're saying we're done here. Yeah, they're going to try to make play onto Ionic Tail Whip. Very, very strong. Pulling him back. There's the ultimate as well, but ultimate lurking in the water is used by Ionic. They're going to try to burn him through it. They should be able to. Oh, no, what a play. He's going to move forward, but the Mage look is there. Oh, there's the Rob side for Barracuda over the top. Here comes Boosh. Boosh finds 2. There's Earthshaker as well. It could be Andy in a lot of trouble here. Driving Strike going to come back up shortly. Doesn't even need it. Slice in. Dice. Well, it does its namesake. It slices and dices.
Where do you run there? Do you run towards the Tier 1 tower on the wrong side of the map where no one covers, or do you run into the Vulcan turret and die anyway?
Yeah, you got to try to run far away, I guess.
Yeah, there was Bart.
Flock of Seagulls?
Can you stop? This is important.
Yeah, it's $15,000 on the line, and we're making Flock of Seagulls jokes.
The life of a caster.
The lifestyle is unbelievable. 2-1 is our score. 4 minutes into this game. Cognitive Red with actually a pretty significant early game advantage. 2,500 XP, 1,600 gold now. The mid camp's factoring into a lot. The early soul from Divios as well, really kind of helping push them along. So they've taken that early foothold. Can they, you know, start running with the kind of extra lift they've gotten from this early game?
Hard to say.
I mean, they got to carry the Sobek.
They do. I mean, Sobek in the end game, not super strong. He has some decent peels, but he doesn't really put out a lot of damage, whereas Sylvanas doesn't either, but that knock-up is a death sentence.
Yeah, and like, Sobek is so absurdly execution dependent, like, and so crazy difficult to do, like, perfect execution on. Like, you're looking for things like, Ionic's going to tail whip somebody to send them in like a sideways direction to then charge prey them back in the direction he wants them.
Right.
Like, those are things you have to do to play Sobek like at a high level and be as effective as like an Athena.
And it's really hard to be able to set all of that up while people intend to actually harm you.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want you to do that.
Please do not.
Oh, Omega, he's going to be dead to rise underneath the tower. Popping up the ultimate a bit too late. Gars runs him down. Yeah, just you know, trying to save it there and underestimating the amount of damage that can come out with the Nemesis ultimate stripping away his protections.
The second time that we've seen Guan Yu today, and for the second time, he's not really performing the way that I think the players had expected.
Yeah, true that, true that. Left side, I'm sorry, right side, back side. And,
jeez, this is why you pick Hercules.
Yeah, there's a lot of things about Hercules that are really, really strong. Mitigate wounds, 90% of your health return, or 90% of damage return to health, all of that. Probably the, we talked about how kind of absurd Armor Umbrella is, 100% scaling, 305 damage, max rank.
Right.
Driving Strike was an ability that I'm not sure exactly what happened when this god was made, but someone decided that it needed to do 365 damage and have 90% of your physical power with a guaranteed stun. If you recall, when this ability came out, it did about half this much damage and only stun if you're under 50% HP.
Right.
It's been buffed so much that you see it just erase gods in the early game if you're ahead.
Oh,
and, well,
speaking of erasing, Boosh in some trouble. Not a lot of health here. Not a lot of mana either. I'm just saying, if he had med...
No, yeah, little meditation baits there would have been... Well, he has no actives yet, Brandon, so you still have a couple opportunities. We'll see what he likes to pick up. Mid lane now, there's going to be more engagement as the Sobek is channeling his ultimate under Jeff, and this should be enough damage. Boom, slice and dice, should clean it up. Tail whip is there.
Oh, he didn't get it. Gar's trying to chase.
Hey,
slicing and dicing once again.
Slicing and dicing, yeah. The ultimate comes up over the top from Snoopy as well, but not finding anybody. Would have secured the kill, but it does miss stealth by just a bit.
Barracuda actually with a great push right there, ensuring that he's not going to miss any creeps. We're going to see Snoopy rotate over. Shouldn't miss too much himself. Gold Fury for now will stay safe.
I challenge you to find another ability in this game that at rank 4 does 300 damage, like Driving Strike.
No, there's nothing. I mean, I think Geb's rollout, if it's maximum and it hits one person.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's sending them back to their team. Like.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Rip.
Ripperoni.
Don't nerf my Hercules. It's the only way I get elo.
I'll just nerf meditation.
No, please.
And then your whole life goes away.
Actually, that wouldn't be so bad, because then people would stop. Oh, look at this. They're going in deep here. Gars actually gets rooted out, pulled back in. Jeff Himlet not in a great spot here, but they're going for it. Boost, level 9 right now.
Got a little aggressive there, missing that dash. I actually thought he was Athena for a second there. Like he dashed, I was like, where's the taunt? I was like, oh, ready, Sobek.
Oh, man, Boosh actually opts into level 5 Driving Strike, only level 1 Boulder, but, I mean, it's still 300 damage.
Yeah,
nothing to scoff at.
It just makes him more bursty. It gives him more team fight presence as a mid laner. It makes some sense. I'm not sure Garz realized he got rooted. Now he realizes he's got rooted.
I'm not sure Jeff realizes that's a Hercules.
That's a really fed Hercules at that. Earthshaker.
Oh,
come on back here.
Boulder.
There's the Boulder. Boulder really off target though. Sobek tossing him back. Tail.
What is this communication?
Yeah, and yeah, you're dead now.
What is this communication?
Oh my God, this is a bloodbath in the mid lane here. Boosh likely to fall down. Guan, you gonna strip away this protection? Dash out there. No, doesn't matter. Omega picks it up anyway.
Oh jeez.
Oh
jeez.
Divios
Double ult.
as well. The silence but here comes Omega, and he can hit all of these hits, and that's gonna do a tremendous amount of damage to Divios. But now they have to fight into a turret where MLC Stealth is too low to do so. He falls as well. There's a meatball knocking them back. Snoopy wants to continue forward, but he has no cooldowns. Oh, this last meatball is not gonna be enough. He may throw it out nonetheless, but. A complete bloodbath in the mid lane.
There was
5-man swing.
I don't understand why we saw one player back off and one player dive. I mean, at this stage in the game, we shouldn't see that communication error.
Kuda, very low. Gar's gonna dive this.
Slice and dice.
Yes, indeed. Slicing and dicing yet again is Garz, and well, he uses shield to shrug off some of that damage, and it ends up being what, a 6 or 7-man kill spree in that mid lane.
Who the hell knows? That was a lot of things.
Only one man is perfect.
Over on the left side, though, we are going to see a start into the Gold Fury. Taking a look at Sylvanas here, I do not see the blink the blink is on cooldown right now, so that's going to hurt them. Keeping them Andy out, both Devios and Snoopy will ensure the Gold Fury is secured, and Red will extend their lead.
Yeah, one of the things that Sobek does the best but it's kind of funny, right? So one of the things Sobek does the best is reposition players and use his ultimate to secure objectives. However, he is considered maybe the 3rd or 4th best at doing that of the supports. It kind of just gives you an idea of where Sobek sits relatively to the rest of the field. Like, he's really good at pulling players, really good at repositioning. Well, Athena does it a little bit better. Right. Sylvanas does it a little bit better.
Right.
He's really good at using that ultimate to get in, but he's blocked out by player collision. Sun Wukong is better for that. Athena's better for that. Geb's better for that. Bacchus is the best for that, right? There's just a lot of things he does well. Other gods do the same and better.
Right.
So you really have to pick them into teams like where you're really looking for the Sickening Strike to do work. Right. You're looking for the early peel from Tail Whip.
Oh,
Jeff. Into an aggressive lane.
Jeff, that was not a good look. He's going to take an ultimate and use an ultimate, but here comes Mercury trying to do some damage. Barracuda laying the law down from the top. Boosh trying to get somewhere. He's super low. He's going to go down, and he goes down as well.
Gar's now going to be the one trying to bail out Ionix here as well.
Snoopy from the back.
Boom, the Jeff, but there's no follow-up there. Here comes Divios. Yeah, scratch that. He's going to ult, and this may be enough. No, Jeff Himla is going to be okay for now. Sickening Strike as well. Last in hand is going to do it, but they should lose a Sobek for this. Snoopy and Gar trying to rally back in. Down does go Ionix to Omega. Divios still stays on the backside. He may have enough to pick up stealth. Slow coming out. The card is there as well. Axe going to come over the top. Not there. Now realizes getting chunked by Barracuda. Tries to fight him, but Barracuda solos down the baby. And that is Omegatron forcing the rest of the team back. And here the Barracuda chance coming out. He's a well-liked player.
2 for 3 trade in favor of Prime there, but they lost the Gold Fury beforehand. Even so, Red continues their lead. 4,400 gold, 6,000 experience, but nothing that we can't see Prime overcome.
Yeah, very similar to what we saw last game, basically. Around the same time, about 5 minutes earlier with about the same lead that we saw to the last game. Red seems to be in control here, and the real scary part is that they have this Hercules that has no money invested into active items and is doing pretty well for himself in the network chart. He's not really topping it, but he is in the mix, certainly right around where the Vulcan is. But the real standout in this game is Gars at 6,700 net worth, about 1,000 ahead of the next highest farmed over on Prime, which is Barracuda at 5,700.
1,500 gold actually separate him and his counterpart. You're going to see Andy actually only level 10, 3 levels down, and at 5,300 gold now. A very
modest showing from Andy in this land yet again.
Oh, maybe not the land, just maybe in this game. He had some pretty good games, minus the Hercules game. I mean, he did some pretty decent carrying with that Nemesis before.
Fair enough, fair enough. Right side, Divios, well, he's kind of attacking the tower with impunity, throwing out axes onto Omega, whose Guan Yu just doesn't seem that resilient when going up into this chalk, who does have a bit of an advantage. Not a big one at this point, but an advantage nonetheless. Left side looks like we're going to have a rotation, at least from the Nemesis, to put some pressure onto Barracuda's Rom. They're going to find Mercury there, force him back. In fact, they could even force the ultimate out if they really want to pursue this. Snoopy continues to pressure, and they're going to try to backstab Barracuda here. Ionic and Boosh leading the charge.
You see Andy trying to play Belly to the entire point, and the teleport comes over. Here's Omega. This is going to be a counter initiation as Barra goes into the air.
No, they're just going to run away because they have chalk with, you know, just complete impunity and a full wave at the tier 2. Like, no need to force it, right? They force out the teleport. That's enough. They're going to get a lot out of it.
And that was really, really strong. 1,500 extra gold, and you know that extra experience as well is going to play dividends as we see Red just become absolutely unstoppable. They have not even been in contention, but for once, and even then, it was almost an even trade.
Was that the first pay dividends of the tournament?
Oh, really?
I think it may have been.
Hey, turn up.
Pay dividends.
Yeah.
Cut the checks, boys.
Check this out in the mid lane. We got a big ult. Oh, countered by a big ult. Devios in some trouble. Boosh with the miss. Driving strike. Devios will go down.
Yeah, he just eats that last tower shot, like, just kind of sad. He just kind of sat there and took it. Gars does clean up Jeff Hinla. The boulder comes out, but it's unnecessary from Boosh. And, well, you know, Hercules doesn't have a lot of mana, does he?
No, he doesn't. Imagine if he had a way to fix that.
If only there was some way to make use of his 700 mana pool.
A lot of trouble. You know, I'm seeing maybe a lack of familiarity with the character. We see that random boulders, the driving strikes are missing, the earthbreakers are off to the side, the mitigate wounds are late, and still is winning the lane.
What's the item here after Jotun's Wrath?
It has to be defense. I mean, he should have built defense before. I mean, that's why we're seeing him die so much. I mean, 3 deaths on a character that shouldn't die. I mean, it's obviously 3 too much.
How about Sprint 2, Aegis 2?
No. No.
No?
No. You need meditation.
Maybe a Transcendence for some mana?
So grouping in the mid lane from Prime, they're going to group over on the right side. It looks like they're going to go for the mid camps. They shouldn't be contested here.
Yeah, right side, yeah, it's going to be free. Guards
what
is
this?
Loop around. Guards don't fight 3.
Don't do that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
He thinks better of it.
Hey.
Yeah, he realizes, especially with the Gold Fury coming back up here in, well, 1 second, and now back up as she enters the map wearing her high heels and wings.
Does she have high heels?
I just assume she does.
It's got to be painful.
She's got kind of like high claw feet.
Gold Fury has respawned and is up for contention as we see a sentry ward come down. Looking at Snoopy and Ionic, trying to make sure that no one aggresses forward. Omega's over here while Chalk continues to push. Omega might be forced to wait here. They should use this 5v4 advantage while they have it, and that's assuming Stealth can get there in time.
Barracuda, yeah, he pops from to get out of this one here, but like, let's take a moment to talk about Sylvanas, and this is what Sylvanas normally look like.
Oh, what's this? Oh, the rotation is big. They force Stealth. This is going to be a 5v4 engagement in favor of Red. Jeff's going in a little bit early.
Pop. He gets a big knock up there, but there's just literally no follow-up, and now he's going to get tossed around. And boom goes the dynamite. There was not much he could do there. Omega, he's running around on his horse as well, but he's going to take quite a bit. Earthshaker over the top is going to force him forward, which means the team can re-aggress with Cog Red. Back goes Omega.
4-man hit.
Through is Andy, but like once again, there's just nothing else there. And he takes almost half of his HP from that Vulcan bomb. And yeah, from behind, Sylvanas not very good. From ahead, Vulcan quite excellent.
There we go. Huge boulder. Barracuda goes down as well. 4-person swing for Red as we take a look at Andy with no ult attempting. No attempt. Oh, wait. Meatball. Nothing.
No, Snoopy not.
But a Gold Fury.
Not willing to fire off the blind meatball. Just too dangerous for him. They're going to move to the mid lane, at least for now, clear out some minions. I don't think they can capitalize on any more objectives off of that push, most likely, but they will do a pretty nice job of securing some map control. Yeah, mid lane, it's going to be defended by the Mercury and the Sylvanas, and oh no, they're going to with the Hercules, I suppose, and the big front line that they have, they can run right in. And well, there's no anti-heal, there's no percentage damage coming out yet on the side of Prime, and it's going to be a while before old Barracuda gets those chin size up. So it's a tough situation they find themselves in, absolutely.
You know, we haven't really seen a lot of Weakening Curse. We have not.
That's right.
We have not seen a lot of Shell either.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we've seen a lot of Sylvanas play, which feels like a mandatory blink. We've also seen a lot of solo lane guaranteed teleport, which means that you're giving up often the Weakening Curse in that position.
Right. Well, though we are seeing a Shell now as Ionic has opted into it.
Hey, turn up.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big swing. I mean, 45 of both protections plus a 15% damage mitigation for 5 seconds. That's really big, especially when they have so much shred. You know, talking about Omegatron, and Mercury does a ton of base damage. I mean, this is very smart.
Yeah, but I mean, we still haven't seen, like, I kind of see what the pro players are saying. The pro players, I'm sorry, are saying a bit about the Mercury here, right? Like, in most games, he's underperforming. He's getting a lot of assists. He's getting involved a lot in the kills, but he's just not really getting carry farm.
Well, then in that last fight, Andy was super late. I mean, the ult didn't come through until half his team was dead.
Right, sure. But, like, you know, there's a lot of factors, I think, that go into that in terms of where they're forcing him to be and what his clear times are like. And it just isn't, it's not performing that well. But, you know, a very similar kind of statement could have been made about Hercules 3 weeks ago, right? They were kind of picking it here and there, and it just wasn't.
Not from me.
Nothing was really happening at the pro level, Brandon. Sorry.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah.
Oh, 3-man knockup, Jeff Hindler, and there's Andy at the front line this time, trying to lay waste, but DVO's too tanky.
Yeah, it's the shell.
They blow up Anister. The shell is way too strong.
Yeah, I mean, that's 3 massive team fight ultimates that were perfectly executed, and they just fought into a shell. And down they go. I mean,
yeah, 2 more. They get some heals off. You see Stealth trying to turn around here, but we're going to see an unstoppable
Snoopy's
run.
cutting waves on the left side as well.
Yeah, and he's going to get a free tower. Barracuda forced to rotate.
Boosh is going to try to make his way out. He's eating quite a bit of damage from the ROM. He's going to use his Aegis already. And, well, Barracuda maybe will pick up a little bit here, but Boosh.
What in the world was that?
Bizarre boulder.
Boom!
Big
Look at that big
through,
shot!
But no one there to really follow up. Oh, Ionic.
What was that?
Ionic.
Is he dead, though?
He plays very few games. One of them is Smite, and he's quite good at it.
And he is definitely quite good in that. A huge pull right there. That's going to earn them a pretty big win. Though Andy has respawned, doesn't have his ultimate. Should be able to deter, however, with a major look to the archers. But he's got to be careful.
Yeah, Divius with no attack speed, though. Just a lot of hammers in his build. So they're not going to take this down too fast out of the pen either, but they will get it before there's any counter initiation. Andy, as you mentioned, no ultimate, so he's going to have a hard time catching anybody here. We'll take a look at the cooldown on it, though. He's about 20 seconds away, so he's really in no position to re-ingress.
You know, I was kind of looking at the charts here. 11,000 gold difference, 14,600 experience now separate both Prime and Red, with Red having a massive lead. Barely
making it out of there is Divios. He teleports to the ward across the map. And the CC doesn't come through in time to stop him. So
very clever.
Yeah, good for him.
Very clever. Stealing away even more experience and gold. I mean, anything to continue the shutdown. I mean, you look across the way, MLC Stealth is 16, Bear is 15, and that's the highest that you're going to see. Looking at Red, Degar is 17, Ionic 14, Boosh 16, and then Devios and Snoopy are both level 18.
Trivia time. Can't look. What percentage mana does Sobek regenerate per second in the ultimate?
8?
10.
10.
So close. So
close.
Yeah, 4 seconds. So 40% of his mana back after using his ultimate.
Which means he doesn't need meditation.
That's what I was getting at there, Brandon. Thanks for ruining the punchline.
You're welcome, Bart. So, Fire Giant?
Fire Giant, 20 minutes in. They're going to start it up on the side of Red. Cog Prime either doesn't care or doesn't know, or some combination of both. Likely doesn't care, as they did have double warding, spotting them going in there. They realize there's not much they can do. They're going to try to take the trade in the mid lane for the tower and the left side for the tier 2. It's not a great trade, but a trade nonetheless, and really all that they can hope to do is just have to find a way to get out of this one after taking the towers, right? They're going to go rally to the left side, I imagine, and try to basically fall back as the Fire Giant still has to fall in. There it goes.
I mean, if you're going to split push with 2 characters, Rama and Mercury would definitely be 2 that I'd pick.
Yeah, they got actually quite a lot out of that.
1750 gold swing overall.
Not bad. But it's about 10% of the disparity between the teams, though. Well, 15%.
Yeah, I mean, and that's maybe not the best call. I mean, maybe they should have contested the Fire Giant. But now, look, I mean, there's no weakening curse over on the left side. I mean, you look at the board here, I don't see a lot of healing reduction, though we do have the Divine Ruin. I don't see a beat stick. I don't see a pestilence. So 40% is what we're looking at against Devios heal, Boosh heal, Snoopy possibly
the Divine
getting
Ruin,
a small amount. With
the Divine Ruin's got to
Bancroft's.
go on Jeff Hinla. Like, it just has to.
Yes, the dot.
It's crazy good.
Well, I mean, so is Sean Quay. Lasts forever.
Sean Quay's okay. He's got a line dot, right? Sylvanas has a guaranteed hit in a massive player-based AoE, long duration dot that refreshes. Okay, Zhang
Spread the ghost out.
The pantomime that Brandon did there for that was something of legends.
There's Angels in MLC's outfield.
Oh, wow.
That was good, right?
Jeez.
Yeah, that was sick.
Man, oh man.
Right side, tower getting pushed down. Again, Andy and Barracuda using that attack speed to the advantage.
Look at the left side. They're like, yeah, okay.
But they don't have any push.
Let's see about all that. Here comes Devios with his no attack speed, limited penetration, chalk build, smacking away at the tower.
Here comes Snoopy.
Snoopy as a mage
that's
doing
big.
34 at a time as well.
That's backdoor protections, though, with the turret.
Yes, that is. You're right. Good call. Counting as a minion, removing backdoor protection. The fight continues on the right side. Nemesis is not going to let them back, just continually doing damage to them. And, well, Zhang Quay and Guan Yu are kind of forced to fight back there. You can see that fight raging on. A lot of ultimates used, but the Phoenix is being aggressed on the left side. Barracuda's actually getting quite low, and he's getting cleaned up by Bushilis. He's going to pull back Hinla as well and continues the fight in the front line. Shell active there. Snoopy, Earthshaker off the mark. Forces Jeff Hinla back towards the base. Meatball's going to miss as well. Driving Strike stuns him out, but not enough to get the kill. They fall back, look for the Phoenix, and they will get said Phoenix as Anister takes so much damage from the Vulcan with his percentage book online.
Garz just had such a big play there, stopping Snoopy. No, it doesn't find it. But yeah, he stopped 2 people from backing, forced away 2 ultimates in Recall Demons and Cavalry Charge, and that's 2 ultimates they could have used in that fight. That would have deterred the Phoenix. Speaking of deterrence, MLC Stealth is not in a good place.
Yeah, Boosh is a very large Hercules, and a very damage-oriented Hercules as well, maybe most impressively, with kind of how well he's been doing at soaking up damage.
Well, Hi to the Urchin, health, mana, both physical protections, both protections, and now the shell on top of that. I mean, what can you do against that?
Run.
Well, actually, Andy just did run, ran very quickly into 2, and is now trying to reinitiate. There comes the Nemesis ult, but MLC Stealth goes down too early. Garz trying to reinitiate as well. Omega in the front line, unfortunately, gets pulled. Oh, just barely missed the Earthshaker.
Yeah, backside, let's take a look as Andy's getting silenced out and bursted before he can react to that one. Garz is waiting in the wings as well. From Snoopy, we do have the Soul Reaver off cooldown, so the next hit's going to do quite a bit. They're going to be looking for the tank most likely. Magic's Blessing used. There it is over the top. It does indeed hit Sylvanas, and that's going to force him back away from the fight, at least for the moment. We are closing in on Cognitive Red, maybe finding themselves a victory. 1 Phoenix stands on the right side of the map. They're going to make their way into the base. No fire means just yet, but can Cog Prime hold them out, Brandon?
They have 3 people, no one else up for 13 seconds.
No,
as we're going to see
they cannot, Brandon.
No, they can't. The teams are standing up, guys. There's a very small delay, and that's going to be it. Your winners once again in Atlanta, Cognitive Red.
Yeah, they've had a lot of success here in LAN, especially in the Southeast. They have yet to lose one, only dropping 2 games in the entire tournament. They will be representing North America as the #1 overall seed. Cognitive Prime, #2.
That's right. They'll be joining OMGA, DID, Kagakila, and of course, SK Gaming.
That's right. The Brazilian and Latin American finals coming up next week and the following week. We'll be bringing you all of that coverage as well, best we can, Brandon. All things told, this has been a pretty solid tournament. I mean, we did see some one-sided games, but we also saw some really spectacular play, and we got a really good idea of kind of how strong is Cog Red versus the field, and I think we had that answered kind of in spades here.
Yeah, that, and I'm looking at complexity here. They put up such a great fight against Prime. Notably, Allied and Jerby were unbelievably strong.
Jerby played tremendously well. All that's really left here, Brandon, before we throw it away for the last time is, who do you have for MVP?
Oh, man, it's got to go to Devios for me, man.
How is it not Devios?
The guy was instrumental in every single win. He won his lane almost every time. In fact, the only time that he didn't, he picked Sun Wukong, which is, to me, like a joke character.
Yeah, and still put up like 3, 4, and 6 on Sun Wukong, which, was much worse. But, yeah, so I think I agree. Devios going to be your MVP, most valuable player here on the side of Cog Red, the solo laner, often considered the kind of premier player in North America. But with that, that's Brandon and I signing off. Thank you very much for watching, and that's it from the commentary desk. Let's throw it over to Rory and F. for the last word.
How you doing, guys? My name is Tom F. Battinger, joined here by Rory, as Bart said. Rory Drybear, as people know you.
That's me.
How you doing today, man?
Doing good. How you doing?
After these matches, absolutely incredible. We got to see some just outright dominance. We got to see some neck and neck. I'm going to put you on the spot. What was your favorite game?
My favorite game? Oh, man. I'm going to say the second game of the Complexity series.
Second game of the Complexity series. That was fantastic. We saw, because you got to set the context. The first match was dominance by their opponent.
By far.
And Cog just looked absolutely fantastic. They made adjustments. They made the right ones. And they moved on to game 2 where they absolutely came out of nowhere.
Well, I talked to Allied after the match, and kind of like, what happened? Like, what was going through your head during the process? And to him, he was like, okay, game 1 did not work. And so they sat down, they got off, they huddled, and they're thinking, we need to change everything. And I'm talking everything. All their strategies changed. They changed their picks. And to do that on the fly and still pull a victory out against one of the best teams, obviously one of the best teams in North America, being second place and going to the World Championship.
Incredible.
That's pretty big.
It was absolutely incredible. I mean, and the finals, you know, a lot of people talk about how it's really the semifinals that matter. I mean, that might be true. The 2 winners of the semifinals get the trip to go, well, here, Atlanta, Georgia, the Cobb Energy Center in a much bigger part for $1.4 million.
And growing.
But the finals, that was a hell of a series. We had 3 games. 3 games, fantastic stuff. Could you pick a moment that was your favorite?
I don't think I could, honestly. These 2 teams, especially what's cool about this is that these teams scrim each other all the time.
Yes.
They know each other very well. They know all their strategies. And to this was, you know, it comes to a point where you think, is there too much scrimming? Can you scrim too much? And the answer is always no. But at this point, when you know that much about your sister team, it's really awesome to see. So game 1, Cog Red, Cog Prime comes back in the second one, and then Cog Red yet again. And I think you can really see how closely matched these 2 teams are. And I think my favorite was just the whole series on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good one. I have to go with my favorite moment coming up right now. We're going to cut to Bill and Todd as they cut the final check for the victors, Cognitive Red.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, for everyone here in Atlanta, let's hear it for all 6 teams for this NA Regional. Been an awesome 2 days of competitive Smite. On behalf of hi-rez Studios, Nabil and I are pleased to conduct this award ceremony. As the developer of the game, it's just humbling to see the amount of time and practice and coordination that these teams have put into learning and mastering the game of Smite. Developers in the house, let me hear it for these players. Developers, we've got a big crew here, and it's awesome to see this go down in person. And so now, we will present first the runner-up of today's event. This is a team where both the players have been very active in Smite since the beginning. The team itself has been playing competitive Smite since beta, and we're pleased that they had such a strong showing here, and we'll see them again very soon back in Atlanta for Worlds as the #2 seed from North America. Coming to Worlds, your team, Cognitive Prime. Awesome work, guys. We've got individual awards and, of course, the grand trophy and the check for our #1 finishers today. This team is just impressed the heck out of us. I mean, they came out of nowhere. The launch tournament of Smite, they came in as underdogs. It's a young team. They took that kickoff LAN tournament in an impressive fashion. They had a great run in the Smite Pro League leading up to this event. Let's hear it for this young team, potentially the future of Smite, the #1 seed from North America in Worlds, Cognitive Red. And the big check, Mr. Nabil. There you go. Let's take a photo of that. We're going to be seeing these guys as the #1 seed for North American Worlds in Atlanta, January 9th through 11th. And with that, congratulations. Let's take it to Kelly and Gabe to send us out.
All right, thank you, Todd. Yes, we've seen some very explosive games this weekend. Only 2 out of the 6 teams are left standing. Cognitive Prime and Cognitive Red showing an absolutely dominant performance. They will be advancing to the Smite World Championships in January. They will compete against teams from around the world for the $1.4+ million prize pool.
That's right. This is completely different than what we saw over in EU. The 5th and 6th seeded team won the EU tournament, and now the 1st and 2nd seeded team win the North American tournament. And honestly, man, Cog Red, they deserved that 1st place win. They kicked butt at the kickoff land, and they dominated the SPL. Guys, I'm so excited for this, and I'm so excited for the World Championships, and we would be nowhere without all of you. We started off with $600,000 for the prize pool, and now we're up to $1.4 million, all thanks to the contributions through the Odyssey. Thank you guys so much. We have grown as an esports, starting at PAX Prime and PAX East on those tiny little tables, and now we are here taking the main stage at the Cobb Energy Center. Thank you all so much for supporting us and continuing to support us, watching us on YouTube and on Twitch. And I just can't show my gratitude enough to the teams, players, viewers, everyone that has been a part of this. Thank you all so much, and we will all see you in January here at the Cobb Energy Center for the Smite World Championships.